Hey there, church. This last week, I went to lunch with one of my senior guys. And every time I go to lunch with one of these guys, I like to ask them, like, hey, like, how can I be praying for you this week? And I'm typically met with the school or, grades or sleep or whatever, nothing like super in depth. But this week, he said, I want to be better about loving people. And I don't know about you, but that's not a typical response whenever I'm talking to a high schooler, that they want to be better about loving the people around them. I was really impressed by that. And I felt like that was a really mature answer for someone of his age. And it got me thinking, am I loving people? Am I doing a good job of loving the people around me? Because sometimes, there's days where I like to think that I'm pretty good at loving those around me. And then there's other days where I'm driving down the street and you'll see me maybe road raging. And I do my best not to be around church members when I do so, but sometimes I'm not perfect. And so then the next day I was reading out of just a devotional book that I go through as well. And it mentioned, how we're called to love, how we're called to love people and how we're called to love the Lord. And so obviously for me, I guess this is something that I need to be working on since it's something that keeps getting brought up over and over again. So it brought me to Matthew 22 verses 34 through 40. And it says, hearing that Jesus had silenced the Sadducees, the Pharisees got together. One of them, an expert in the law, tested him with this question. Teacher, what is the greatest commandment in the law? Jesus replied, love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind. This is the first and greatest commandment. And the second is like it. Love your neighbor as yourself. All the law and the prophets hang on these two commandments. So obviously there's two parts to this. The first part is we're called to love God. We're called to love God first because we can't successfully love others if we're not loving God first. If we're not loving God, then we're filling that in our life with loving ourselves, where we take that selfish desire and we focus on that. We put that at the center of love, and then we can't love others if we're focused on loving ourselves first. So it can be pretty difficult to love others if we're not first loving God. And so when we have a heart full of love for God, then comes an outpouring of love for those around us. And so that was something that was just sort of struck me as I had lunch with this guy earlier this week. It was, hey, I want to be better at loving people. For him to say that, it made me question, am I doing a good job at loving those around me? But it all starts with first my relationship with the Lord and how much I'm loving him. So my challenge for this week is how are we loving those around us? And are we focused on our relationship with the Lord? Are we spending time with him? Are we showing him our love and our affection? And then from there, when we have that heart that's full of love for God, are we having an outpouring of love for those around us? And so my challenge for you and for me this week, please ask me how I'm doing, is am I loving God and am I loving those around us? I hope you have a great week.